we're going to be exploring the struggle or difficulty in letting go. Now, that might be around thoughts that you can't let go of, pain or challenging situations, past wrongs that have been done to you or that you have done to others. It might be letting go of habits that you know that are no longer serving you or are in fact harming you. We're really going to explore the reasons why we can't let go of things or we find it difficult or challenging to let go of things. Hello, my name is Rebel Black and I am a human agronomist and metaphysical muse gifted with the art of guiding people to experience their deepest desires, to move through their pain and live as their most enlivened, energetic expression. In this session, I shall be guiding you through a protocol called forensic healing, with the pure intention for you to experience energetic alignment and healing as a result of this experience. Of course, healing can only occur when all parties involved in the healing space take full responsibility for their own well-being and when they also believe that healing can occur. I want you to know that I have full faith that whatever it is that you are listening to this to resolve, heal, or clear can be achieved, and whatever messages, memories, or insights you gain today, you are ready to receive, and it will be in your highest good to heal and activate. I want you to know that you are safe in this healing, so please make sure you are in a place where you feel safe. Forensic healing does not promote the functions of medical diagnosis or prescribed medication, so please consider what is explored in this session as general in nature and seek further medical support from a qualified physician should you feel the need to. I like to describe forensic healing as a tool that helps identify, make sense of, and get to the root cause of any patterns that have played a big role in our life but are now limiting us, and to heal that pattern once and for all. Most healing is symptom focused, but forensic healing gets to the truth and heals forward and backwards in our lineage, allowing us to be free and for us to experience life in new ways. It is particularly useful for healing the root cause of any symptoms you might be experiencing in your life, including in relationships, career, finances, physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being, and in your life in general. As I work through this healing protocol, I shall be using a number of different scan lists to identify the key aspects of the case. You may hear me counting numbers, or there may be periods of silence. What I'm doing in those moments is using muscle testing to tune into the correct information on the scan list as it relates to your case in particular. The information I share as we move through the protocol may trigger particular memories for you. Trust that these memories are clues to the pattern and are often your first or one of your first experiences of the pattern in your life. And I want you to know that if something is triggered for you and you feel deeply or strongly as a result, you won't experience the feeling for long if you really allow yourself the time and space to feel the feelings that come up and continue to move through with the healing. This protocol works really effectively and quickly. And I want you to remember you can pause this recording at any time and take notes, express the emotion, move your body, but I do recommend that you listen to the whole session in one sitting. It is now time to set your intention for this healing. What is it that you are here to be guided on? Is there something that is causing you distress or discomfort that you want to explore or shift? Is there a bigger intention you are looking for, or are simply trusting you will be guided? Please note this down somewhere so you can refer to it at the end. Our relationship to our body is really important in healing, as it provides messages, and we use it as a way to identify whether our healing work is having an effect. So, for your reference, please note down the answers to the next few questions, as we will refer to them at the end of the healing. So, can I ask that you please now tune into your body and scan with your mind's eye to see if there are any areas of discomfort or disharmony. Identify where the sensation is and give the sensation a rating out of 10. 0 being barely noticeable, and 10 being incredibly sensational. I'm now going to invite you to get to know this sensation a bit better. Please just trust that the first thing that comes to mind is the right thing, even if it seems odd. When you tune into the sensation, what shape is it? Does it have color? What color is it? Is it moving or static? And what feeling or emotion does it tell you it is? Now we are ready to heal. I've already opened the healing case, so we will move straight into the forensic healing protocols. So please make sure that you're comfortable in a place you won't be disturbed, and perhaps you have some water and tissues nearby. Enjoy. So, the first thing that tests up in this healing on letting go is the archetype of the father. And the father relates to authority, being stern and powerful. So, there's very often a power dynamic. So, it's not your father, it is the archetype of the father, which is very much that authority figure. The emotions, the life patterns, that came through were hurt and guilt. And it says that there's like the guilt says there's a deep sense of feeling guilty, that you constantly judge yourself and you agree to do things because you'll feel guilty if you don't. You're easily manipulated. Sense of responsibility weighs you down. You feel shackled and stuck. And hurt says you've come into this life to heal yourself from deep hurt that burdens your heart. You find yourself in situations where you experience deep hurt from other people who have betrayed you. Your heart is heavy and it feels broken and shattered, and you feel pieces are missing from you and you long to feel whole. So in the context of this authority figure and someone that was powerful, it's likely that there's been someone in your life where deep hurt's been done and guilt played a role in that. And maybe that's what you're really struggling to let go of, but it keeps you stuck in the loop of both of those things. So grief was the emotion that came through, and the opposite counter to grief is healed. And so, of course, if bad things are done and, we feel guilty all the time, it's likely that there is a deep sense of grief, and perhaps you've become accustomed to that grief, and that's why you find it difficult to let go. Letting go of things means that, we have to become a new identity, that we've got to give up some parts of ourselves that we've become very familiar and comfortable with. And maybe grief is a part of that for you. And certainly that sits in the heart space as well, which makes sense for the hurt. The negative negative belief that came through was power, and that relates very strongly then to the archetype of the father. So this letting go, this inability to let go, or this struggle to let go, is a power dynamic. You're in a power struggle with yourself, in a sense, with past versions of yourself, your current self, and then the possibility of a future self. It's like this, the way I'm sort of sensing is that your past versions of yourself are holding your future versions ransom through this inability to let go. And it's this power dynamic that keeps you stuck in that. It started at around age 12, age 11, age 12. And so if there's a memory or a story that's kind of coming through to you, like I said, this isn't about your father. It's about the archetype of the father or an authority figure. So it could be somebody else that's coming through as someone that was an authority to you, another family member. It might be someone within a religious context, or could be in a school environment, or someone that was close to the family, where there was this power over, this assertive power that led to feeling hurt and feeling guilt and then grieving the loss of whatever it is. And one of the things we might fear in letting go, in truly letting go of something, is the grief that can come, and that we would be afraid of that grief consuming us, and that might be one of the reasons we struggle to let go of certain things and we just hold on to them, that we're afraid of the feelings that will rise up, that inevitably will come as a result of letting go, because there is grief that naturally follows letting go, whether it's a perceived small thing that we're letting go of, or something really large and important in our lives. So the next level of information that came through was around soul abuse and the negative ego. And the negative ego was an interesting thing, and I just want to read you a little bit about what it is. The negative ego is service to self, and it operates inside our minds until we heal the energetic imbalances, remove mind control, and heal the pain body to expand our consciousness. Meanwhile, self-awareness and ego discipline are needed to address the negative ego exploited by mind control, which leads to spiritual pathologies, narcissism, and psychopathy. And so this to me really means that, again, it's power, right? And healing is required, which of course is the opposite to grief. So in order for us to expand, to flourish, and to thrive, we need to heal the parts of ourselves that are in a power struggle, and allow things to be let go and to reclaim control over our mind in order to do that. And that would mean something like, as an example, if it really would be getting the discipline to, when you think negative thoughts or you find yourself in a loop around a particular story or something that was done to you previously or that you did to somebody else that you're using as a weapon to keep you stuck in the grief, guilt, hurt loop, it would be cultivating the discipline to move your mind to something else. So to bring your attention and your awareness to something else, to distract your mind from going down that loop. So it might be strategies like having a wristband, and every time you find yourself in that negative loop or in that sort of spiral down into the hurt, grief, guilt feelings because of a particular story or a thing that you're not willing to let go of, you snap your wrist, and you think about something else. Or you put on a song and you dance and you move and you shift your energetic state. You jump up and down, you shake yourself out. So it's building and cultivating the discipline to do those things, even when our mind wants us to do something else. As Louise Hay always says, it's just a thought. You can change it. And that's very much what is coming through in order to be able to let go, so that you can thrive. It's also shown up as a survival program. And so it's likely that you went into this pattern of hurt, guilt, and grief as a survival mechanism for whatever reason. And you'll know this if there's a story or a memory coming through for you. That will make sense to you, that this was a survival tactic for you. But you're no longer in a need for survival. And so there's an invitation now to move into new relationship with power, into new relationship with whatever it is that you're using as a weapon at the moment to keep you stuck in this pattern, so that you can let it go. So there were two other things that tested through in this next phase. One was the etheric template, which is the auric field, and it was related to precision. And the other was the heart chakra, related to being hard-hearted or closed. And if we think about this, the pattern that we're talking about of the powerful authority figure feeling hurt, feeling guilty, the grief, being afraid of grief, being stuck in this power dynamic, survival really would have maybe meant that you became hard-hearted, or closed your heart off to protect yourself, and from others perhaps. And particularly if there's that narcissistic energy, that very dominant, controlling, self-centered energy within this pattern, hard-heartedness or closed-heartedness would be definitely a protection mechanism for big feelings that you maybe aren't yet ready for. It at 11 or 12, when this first began, you may not have had the emotional intelligence or capacity to deal with what was going on, or to deal with those big emotions, or to have the resilience or know what to do. So the safest, quickest thing to do, most protective thing to do, is shut your heart down and go big in, less precise, go big picture in your perspective, rather than getting down into the minutiae and the precision. And so it's meant that maybe being open to opening your heart, opening to love, opening to healing, being precise, being very clear and connected is possibly been a challenge for you. And therefore letting go has been a challenge for you, because you can't see the wood for the trees. And It's not your fault that that was happen. It's because of whatever the story is that happened at age 11 or 12, that this pattern was embedded and then it became a part of your normal. And we can't see what we can't see until we can see it. And now you simply cannot unsee it. You're going to have to do something about it. So the next thing that came through was around youth. So you were a youth. There was a child involved in the story. You did it to yourself. So it was a self embedded mechanism. It came through because of controlling and fear, and it was a spiritual impact. Now, I'm not sure if that gives you a greater context for thinking about a possible story or a scenario, pardon me, that comes to mind. But even if you, even if you don't have a story or a scenario or a memory that's coming through for you, just trust that this is the right thing for us to be exploring for you today, in order to allow it to be easier for you to let go. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're calling in. We are calling in your capacity, your expanded capacity to let go in order to receive more love, more healing, a new relationship to power, and to heal the hurt, and the guilt and the grief that you've experienced. So we're going to move to the healing phase, and I'm going to ask you if you are ready to heal these things that have held you captive to this point, with the intent that we are calling in greater capacity to let go, so that you can move on and move forward in your life much more quickly and easily than previously. And if you are ready to let that go, I want you to proclaim yes with great enthusiasm and commitment, and then we can move forward. Excellent. So what we are going to heal today, first up, is the parasitic entity. And what came through is energetic draining. And what that means is that the post an attack or post this experience of being powered over, of being hurt, of feeling guilty, of of the power dynamic and not being able to let it go, now it becomes a part of your arsenal to keep you stuck and small. It feels really draining. The victims experience feeling drained, tired, lethargic, like you've been digging ditches in the hot sun, despite doing no physical activity. So there's this real, like you've been hit by a bus, might be a way some people would describe it. You've just got no energy left whatsoever when you've been in this power struggle. And the negative voices that come through, they're saying your life is a mess. Now, someone else may be saying that to you. Oh, your life is such a mess. And it might not be your whole life, but aspects of your life. It may be you saying this to yourself as well, constantly, your variation of a theme. Where are you weaponizing your life? It might be in your physical well-being, your financial well-being, in your creativity, in your contribution, your work, your family, your relationships. It might be in your eating habits, for example. So it doesn't have to be your entire life, but there might be a particular element of your life that you're really beating up on yourself, and so your life is a mess. That's what's coming through. So if we're ready to heal this, we are going to make some statements. You're going to repeat these statements after me, saying your name when I say mine. You're going to say them with conviction. We are ready to begin. I rebel, cancel, void, and reject the parasitic demonic entity causing the effect of energetic draining. I rebel, reject and refuse the lies the parasitic entity voices tell me that my life is a mess, or areas in my life are a mess. I acknowledge the lies and deception of this parasitic entity and reclaim control over my mind, thoughts, sovereignty, birthright, and divinity. I reclaim the truth that my life is on track, that I am living an enlivened life. that my life is perfectly tidy. I close all harmful portholes, gateways, grid systems, stargates, and access routes to my energy field, and refuse any demonic or parasitic entity access to my mind, body, and soul. I choose to live as a sovereign, powerful, divine being and only accept information and connection from the pure, organic source energy. I choose to live in oneness with humanity from this point forward. I am blessed and I am free. Take a nice big deep breath in and release it. And then we're going to give our bodies a nice big shake. Shaking out all of the past, shaking out all the past hurts, all the guilt, all of the grief, all of the shame, and all of the power that has been disserving to us. Paying particular attention to the parts of yourself where you were feeling high sensation earlier. Make sure they get a good shake. I'm going to shake, shake, shake till we get an energy shift. Be sure to shake your head. It's where most of our thoughts exist. Make sure you shake the head, letting it go. Letting it go. Keep shaking. Keep shaking it out. Oh. Keep shaking. This is a big one to let go of. We're letting go of letting go. Letting go of not being able to let go. We're calling in being able to move on and let go with ease and grace and joy. Big deep breaths. Keep shaking it out. Come back to stillness. Whew. The next thing we're going to heal is the karmic contracts release. And it's a karmic duty that has come through. And it's come through as self-punishment is what we're healing. Self-punishment, which causes problems in all areas of life. That makes sense for all of this that we've just gone through in the protocol. So we will heal this once and for all. So just listen to these words. Request divine permission and divine protection to commence the karmic duties, karmic contracts release. I now request the power of divine light, divine blessings, and divine source to safely release, dissolve, remove, and cancel all karmic duties to self-punishment, causing problems in all areas of life with you and anyone that you are in this dynamic with. You may name them if you know. Now repeat after me. Say your name where I say mine. I, Rebel, choose to release all past life or karmic duties regarding self-punishment, which causes problems in all areas of life, related to a person, a place, an organization, or another entity. These karmic duties for self-punishment are now void and cancelled. I choose to be released and free forever from this point forward. Nice big deep breath. Oh, good one. Okay, DNA healing, and we'll close the case. I request healing sound frequencies to reconnect and realign DNA, RNA, chromosomes, wormholes, nucleotides, hypercommunication. I request the purification and cleansing process of white and gold, pure organic light, dissolve all negative energies and attachments from you, from myself, from the rooms we occupy, from the buildings we're in, from the surrounding area, anything or anyone affected by this healing. I request closure and disabling of harmful portals, gateways, channels, stargates, NAA firewalls, and access routes to other dimensions and realities, controlling, interfering, or siphoning your soul and energy life force. I confirm the etheric, astral, and mental and causal light bodies are cleansed and strengthened, and that all Sephirotic healing forces are now activated and connected to the organic, pure, white light source for the opening of the crystal rose heart and activation of your diamond sun body. I confirm and invoke the Christ consciousness light and request the guardians and angels to pour blessings upon you for all the things you require to obtain soul freedom and sovereignty. I ask that they guide and protect you and lead you on a path of empowerment to assist with the evolution of your soul and humanity. I ask that healing may continue throughout this time and that you may always know you are of divine, infinite worth and hold the power and choice for transformation. I confirm these requests have taken place and this healing is complete. As you re-enter the full experience of your body and surroundings, please just tune back into your body and particularly into the sensation you identified at the beginning of the healing. What's the rating now? Has it shifted? What is the shape and color? And what feeling is attributed now? If you think about the issue that you came in to heal, what's your experience of it? Whatever it is, that is perfect. It may be similar or the same or completely different. Perhaps the sensation is gone altogether. Just know that the healing is complete. Sometimes it takes a little while for our person to catch up with the healing that's already been done. So please be kind to yourself always, but particularly so over the next 48 hours or so. Drink plenty of water, ground yourself by eating nourishing foods, whole grains and vegetables, and move your body to support any further shifting that wants to be had. Our energetics can shift quickly, but sometimes our body and our behavior takes a bit to catch up. So please just pay attention to that and reach out into the Wild Women group if you require any support to enhance your integration. Remember, you are love and you are a powerful co-creator in your life, and you are here to be enlivened and to have fun. May you bloom where you are. May your bower be blessed. And may you always know your wild worth.